Matt and Angie from Peak Performance Physical Therapy. Today we're going to show you how to do a dynamic warm-up. There's many different exercises that you can add to a dynamic warm-up. We're just going to show you 7 different ones. A dynamic warm-up is something you do in 2 or 3 minutes before you start athletic activity. It can help warm your body up, increase the nervous system working, and get you a little bit actively stretched out. So Angie's going to demonstrate 7 of them for us. The first one is have you do jumping jacks. You do like 15 jumping jacks, making sure you're keeping your shoulder blades squeezed back and you're touching your hands at the top. 15 or so would be appropriate. The next one's going to be doing inchworms. So reach your hands to the ground, you're walking out slowly, you'll active hamstring stretch, and then walking your feet back up towards your hands where you comfortably can. You walk out 3 or 4 times like that. You may feel a little bit of pull in the back of your legs when you come up to the top. Get a little bit of your core kicking in. And then she's going to roll on her back and she's going to do a single leg bridge. We'll do 8 or 10 on each leg. Just working the glutes, working the back muscles. And we'll switch to the left. Do 8 or 10 there. And then we'll go ahead and roll around our stomach and we'll do the windmill exercise. So you think about your arms like they're the windmill. You'll be turning out 6 to 8 times with your right arm and then 6 to 8 times with your left arm. You're trying to keep your pelvis still facing down towards it, so don't twist out too far. So show them how not to do it, Angie. You don't want to turn out too far. It should be a little bit of a challenge on your core. Next one, we're called the everything stretch because we get a bunch of different things stretched here. We'll do one side and then the other. And go down, get a little stretch to the hip, and then do some reaching towards the ceiling with your right arm 4 or 5 times, and then with your left arm 4 or 5 times. You get an active stretch through your trunk. And then we can kind of go back up to kneeling position and then lean forward to get a stretch in the front of your back thigh. So she should be feeling the stretch in there. Get in and out of that a little bit, and then put your hands on either side of her legs, and she's going to kind of rock back to get an active stretch to her hamstring 5 or 6 times. And then she's going to switch to the same thing on her left side. So we're going to briefly go into there, go down, get a nice stretch in there, reach 4 or 5 times again towards the ceiling. Come back up and stretch the front of the hip. And then arms either side of the front leg and lunging back. Stretch the hamstring. Then we can stand tall and we'll do a walking knee to chest where you're squeezing the trail leg. So she's going to squeeze her right buttock there, her left buttock there. So we get an active hip stretch here as well. Get you ready for things like sprinting or running hard. And then the last one is going to be some side shuffling with the inner thigh stretch. So you should feel the stretch in her inner thigh there on her right, and then her left there. And if you do that without taking breaks, you should be actively warmed up. You should have your heart rate up. You should maybe be breaking a little bit of sweat and hopefully be ready for active competition. And you can also go into some more sport-specific activity, like for example, if you're playing basketball, you could do a little layup or you could do a jump shot. If you're doing other sports, you could do something more similar like that. And that's a good example of a dynamic warm-up.